What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I want to give a very special happy birthday to Zab Super Judah, who turns 36 years old today. Now, Zab Judah has been a fighter who I've personally admired. Um, I like Zab. I don't know. There's something about him, just his demeanor. He's been in the sport for quite some time. He's born in '77, still an active fighter, still a fighter that can give you problems. Again, he turns 36 today, so happy birthday to Zab Super Judah. Now, a lot of people shit on Zab Judah, and to a degree, he brings that on himself. Sometimes Zab Judah has not lived and breathed boxing. Um, I don't think his record is an indication of how good he really is. And again, we live in a world where the negative outweighs the positive. If you really break it down skill for skill, Zab Judah is one of the most talented boxers in this generation. However, you don't know what Zab you're gonna get. Sometimes he seems like he has this mental fragile, just this mental fragileness, and he doesn't stay composed. He You just never know what you're gonna get. He's a wild card, and he's that kind of loose cannon. So you don't know what you're gonna get. But skill for skill, the man is talented. He's very athletically gifted. He has speed even at age 36, 35 when he fought Danny Garcia. Still looked quick, very slick. Um, and I think he's getting older and more mature, which is beneficial to him. Stop the partying, get older, and take your craft seriously. Like I said, there's this good documentary. I think Jay Z produced it or whatever. They're both from Brooklyn, and Zab Judah was saying that he was winning fights in his younger years, and he was partying. He said he was staying up to like 3 a.m. partying, and then having like world title fights the next day. And his mind was he was like reckless. He was just young, living the life, making a lot of money at a young age. Had been boxing, and it was doing well for himself, and he's able to get his friends in the VIP, and he was just living the life, not really putting boxing in the forefront. Um, so again, I'm not making excuses for the man. Sometimes he doesn't show up, and I think for those reasons he gets shitted on. But if you look at who he's lost to credible opponents. Um, Costa Zoo at the time. Costa Zoo had beat Sharmba Mitchell. He had beat the legendary Julio Cesar Chavez, and Costa Zoo stopped Zab Judah via TKO. He lost to Miguel Cotto, a fighter who's still currently fighting as well. Great fighter. Plus, Cotto was throwing those low blows, as you guys remember. I don't know if you remember, but it was hilarious. Zab Judah was complaining about the low blows, which he should have been because Cotto was like fighting dirty basically and hitting him in the nuts. There's this clip on YouTube. If I can find it, I'll put it in the link in the description link, or I'll put the link in the description. And Zebju was like, "Oh man, he's hurting me. He hurt my dick. He punched my dick off," or he says something and he's complaining to the ref. It was just hilarious how he was pleading his case. Um, Lost to Floyd Mayweather. He lost to Carlos Baldomir, who's not necessarily the most elite, greatest person, but at the time he was a respectable figure in the sport of boxing. Um, he was a former champion or was a champion at the time, whatever. He lost to Danny Garcia. Again, he lost to credible opponents who usually look good. Corey Spinks, but then he later avenged that. So I think Zab Judah is better than his record. I think Zab kind of is his own worst enemy, depending on how he trains, how he looks, his mental awareness, and just staying composed, not getting too frustrated, putting his emotions aside for the bigger picture, and not letting that frustration take out. Similar to like a Victor Ortiz. I mean, there's a lot of people, Mike Tyson, Victor Ortiz, these people had kind of chips on their shoulder. And sometimes when you go from having nothing to all of a sudden having everything, it does something to you. You don't necessarily know how, you're not used to being in those situations in that environment, and you don't know how to handle it. Um, Zab Judah, being from the streets, I mean, from Brooklyn. As you guys know, Brooklyn has nasty boroughs and there's hoods everywhere. Um, so sometimes being from the streets, and then all of a sudden being thrown in the ring with rules, and like, not like he was thrown, he's been fighting since he was a kid, but being in a situation, in a predicament, a conundrum where you are getting low blow by Miguel Cotto and you have to abide by rules and different stuff like that. Is different. A boxing match is completely different from a street fight. So sometimes athletes in general have like a tough time separating the two. Like they want to do street shit, but they it's like they forget they're millionaires. The spotlight is on you. If you are involved in a shooting at a club, it makes the headlines. Versus if you're a NFL player and you're involved in a shooting a club, again you're gonna make the headlines. But if you're just a nobody just from the block, people may not care. It's not gonna be the front page. So some of these athletes trip and they don't really realize what they have and they can't separate the two. So I think Zab Judah kind of he brings some of the stuff on himself, but he's very talented. And again, at age 36, he can still give people problems. He showed that Vernon Paris was undefeated. He defeated him. Danny Garcia, he gave him a run for his money in the championship rounds when everybody thought Zab Judah was a 4-round, 5-round fighter. And he gave Danny Garcia some hellish moments, and it looked like he possibly could stop Danny Garcia, who's proven time and time again he has a chin. I think Zab Judah did better in the championship rounds than Lucas Matisse did. Now you can say, oh, Lucas is but at the same time, this is boxing. Things happen, cuts happen, headbutts happen. You got to be able to work through that. That's what you get paid the big bucks for. So Zab Judah, again, I think he gets shitted on. I think he's better than his record. I think he's a highly talented dude. You just never know what you're going to get. The Amir Khan fight, I think, was perfectly winnable for him, but he kind of gave up. He got hit with a body shot, and it seemed like he wanted to complain to the ref more than get up and fight, and then he got counted out. So, again, that's what you get when you get a Zab Judah, almost like a bipolar type of person. You never know how to approach them. I don't know if you guys have ever had a friend like that. You don't know, like, oh, should I bring this up or should I talk to him about this now or later? Or if you've been like a manager, like me, I've been a manager at places, and you have to, it's like walking on eggshells dealing with certain associates. Like, how can I present this information to them, this write-up or whatever it is, without them flying off the handle? How can I tell them this? So that's just my thoughts on Zab Judah. Again, talented fighter, skillful fighter. I'm looking forward to his fight with Paulie Malignaggi. I think that's another winnable fight for him. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fighter who's slick, who's been in the game, seasoned, with power, southpaw, versus another fighter who's seasoned, doesn't possess power, but very tricky, very slippery, very crafty, and they're both from Brooklyn, so can't really go wrong there. I'm looking forward to the fight. What do you guys think of the fight? What do you think of Zab Judah? What's your gripes about Zab Judah? What do you like about him? Leave a comment, let me know. Other than that, happy birthday, Zab Judah, age 36. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next videos, Ego, signing off.